G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is the Alien Atomizer. This is one of the 3 weapons that you get out of the Zeton Arsenal's creation, and it comes to you in the form of a somewhat customizable stand-alone energy pistol of the Alien variety, which is good. It uses the same animations as this particular weapon, so nothing new is there, although it has different sounds. And right off the bat you can see this thing does a little bit more damage, but that damage will only go up because we've got a couple of barrels to chuck on it. So the standard barrel is kind of neat. It shoots 2 projectiles. I'm not actually sure if that's counted as 1 or 2 projectiles. I guess we'll see a little bit later. But the splitter barrel turns this into a shotgun, which looks kind of cool actually. You've got the slicer barrel, which fires kind of like a half disc, which will increase your damage, but the projectile speed on this isn't great. It's one of the drawbacks of the Alien Blaster pistol in the vanilla game, and it comes back and rears its ugly head in this. And most importantly, the suppressor barrel, which suppresses sound from firing. So yeah, we can be stealthy with an energy weapon now, which is unheard of when it comes to Fallout games. So there you go. So we're going to chuck that on, although we will give these extra barrels a go because I want to see how this thing works. Now for the sights, you get these tiny little iron sights on the top, which usually work alright. You can have some holographic reflex sights on the top. You'll have to actually get into gameplay to see those, but they go alright, I suppose. You can make a comfort grip to increase your recoil and accuracy, and you can change this into a fusion magazine if you're running low on the old Alien Blaster rounds. These are of limited supply, so once you use up all of these, it's probably worth moving over, although that will require Science Rank 4. So yeah, that takes a little bit of understanding to get to know these Alien Blasters, and as a legendary thing, if you feel like it, this is added by Legendary Crafting. We're going to withhold from that. We'll create a couple more of these, and I'll see you where we usually go. Righto, here we are in Gunner's Plaza with our Alien Atomizer in hand. Looking down the sights looks okay. As you can tell, there's a bit of glow maps going on, and that does actually react to things that you put the gun next to, if I was actually able to hold that up. There it is. So yeah, that's nice attention to detail. And looking at this thing in third person, this is one hell of a pistol. I guess this is like the Alien's hand cannon. That's the standard barrel, by the way. Switching over to the suppressed barrel, which is only just the 1 barrel, which is interesting. This is the shotgun barrel. And last but not least, this is the one that fires like the disc projectiles, which are the coolest. And I think this actually looks the coolest there. I like the curvature on the end there. It's kind of like, I don't know, kind of like Halo plasma guns. But anyways, let's get started. First of all, we're going to try to see how we go using this thing just stock standard against these gunners. Now, like the vanilla Alien Blaster in the game, this thing fires pretty much as fast as you can pull the trigger. Also, like the Alien Blaster in the vanilla game, this thing has incredibly slow projectiles. I actually saw a patch for this on the Nexus the other day that speeds up the projectiles because, yeah, it's a little bit unusable. So using this at close range is pretty much a given. I don't know what that gunner is doing other than trying to dodge my projectiles by casually walking in a different direction, but it seems to be working for... See, the gunners just dodge out of the way. So yeah, a big drawback of this weapon is obviously its inability to hit moving targets, or its difficulty of hitting moving targets simply because the projectiles are too slow, making ranged combat pretty much out of the question. If I demonstrate against that target all the way over there, we've already shot him, that's fine. Let's try and kill some of these people over here. Fortunately, you can get away with using this thing at range if you just spam the trigger like this. Although it's a good way to use up all of your Alien Blaster rounds, which are in limited supply, but honestly, fusion cells are a dime a dozen, and you lose only a tiny little bit of damage, so you can probably get away with firing like that. Or if you use console commands like me, you can just give yourself all of the Alien Blaster rounds in the world. Okay. This is the suppressed barrel. We should be able to get some good sneak attack crit multipliers, so we'll see how we go. There we go, 4.4 times sneak attack critical. Seem to be doing okay with this. Although this thing, I guess the traces in the air kind of give away your position because it's a big giant orb projectile that's firing so slowly. And I guess maybe it's not the most quiet thing in the world, even though it does suppress the sound a little bit. Alright, let's take a look at this thing in VATS before we use out our shotgun one. And as you can tell, you get a bunch of shots. You can get heaps more shots if you use the reflex sight, which we've got onto this, which is okay. We'll go for a critical there. 170 damage is At least it's a guaranteed hit, right? We're under the safety of VAT's protection, so I suppose that's okay. Not really an endgame weapon off the bat here, I'm feeling, so we'll just move in nice and close and use this thing as a close range shotgun, which honestly makes a lot of sense for this weapon. Since the projectiles aren't really that fast, you're going to have to get into people's faces to shoot them anyway, so using this thing as a shotgun makes a little bit of sense. This thing obviously isn't as great on the old AP usage, especially since we're using the standard iron sights. But in terms of damage, this thing is doing okay, I suppose. The spread on this isn't actually too much either. I'm counting 5 projectiles there. Also, I think I saw Captain Bridget down there, and she kind of scares me because she's got a nasty pistol on her. Let's get some more VATS gameplay in here. We'll pop some criticals. In fact, let's just spam that motherfucking spacebar. Get all these criticals happening. You are really spoiled in Fallout 76 at the rate you can... Hey, that gun has no mag. Interesting. But yes, back to my other thought. You are spoiled in Fallout 76 the way you can just spam crits and VATS. Although it's because it's real time, obviously. Alright, so there's Captain Bridget. Hopefully we get a stagger on her because her pistol does a little bit of damage over time. Oh, we disarmed her. Well, that's some nice use out of my gunslinger perks. I'll just have that so you can't have it. Now you've brought a pistol to an advanced alien weapon fight, which could probably be beaten out by the vanilla assault rifle. So you're just going to dance around and punch me. I'm just going to sit here and shoot you like that. You know what? I can't be bothered aiming. I'm just going to let the game do it for me. And at the same time, get some criticals back. There's 1. And 2. And didn't get anything for that kill there. That's okay. Alright, back over to the suppressed one. Hopefully we can go back into caution. Not quite. That's okay. Let's just get up in this gunner's face and try to get some headshots to increase our damage output. That seemed to work a little bit better. Although getting headshots at a target that's constantly moving around is a little bit on the questionable side. Although when they're stuck between a chair and a wall like that, that seems to work out pretty great. Only a couple left to go now, and I think you get the idea of this weapon. It's okay, not really endgame material held back by its projectile speeds, which already been patched, so I don't think I need to do a patch of my own on this, other than, you know, to increase the damage. Maybe I could make upgraded versions of the barrels, kind of like what they did with the vanilla plasma guns, where they use the same objects but increase the stats even more. Vanilla A and Bs, this is what it looks like. There's no lighting or anything special going on here. This is what it's supposed to look like there. Bad lighting. Okay, let's move on to monsters. Far Harbor cold and they want their weather back. Yes, she's a bit foggy right now as Swan just backhands a Ghoul Reaver over there. Alright, so let's get started, and basically the tactic here is doing what I usually do, which is to say, spamming sneak attack criticals whilst backpedaling. Now, Swan has a few friends that he's brought to the fight over there, so I'm probably going to have to prioritize killing them first. You're only level 10, so if I get one shot into you, you should probably drop. And that one's a master, which is not the scariest thing in the world. If it was something like a warlord, then I'd be a bit more worried. And he's in a state of caution, which doesn't allow me to sneak attack crit him anymore. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and do that. And also, the E and Bs are back on, so using this thing is a little bit on the blinding side. There's the sneak attack crits which I want. Okay, he's mutated now. He seems to be locked in place. Let's get some cheeky headshots on him. See how much damage we can do then. Almost 600. You know what? That's not bad. We'll go for a critical there. We get an extra, what, 50 damage? That's alright, I suppose. We'll keep on going just with the regular VAT shots because they don't take ages to go through. There we go, and we'll keep on backpedaling whilst glocking this guy with our alien blaster. Aiming down sights, why not? Now fortunately, shooting at a target as big as Swan, the slow projectiles are only going to get you bad if the aiming is a little bit wrong, but since he's such a big boy, we're not going to have any problems with that, and might as well finish him off with that, because he is coming, and I don't think I could outpace him in a DPS war. And also, man, this is what happens when you use E and Bs with Fallout 4's lighting effects. Although, seeing him as like a silhouette falling there, that was actually a really cool death animation. Legendary Warlord. Do you have an instigating Gauss rifle on you? Because I kind of want those, but I want them in Fallout 76, so if you could just go back like a couple of 100 years and find me a drop there. Oh, okay, yeah. That is why I didn't use it with the ENBs on, because using this thing is bloody blinding. If I was to use the standard one, look at that. A seizure inducing. That's no good. But I think you get the point of this. This is a pretty cool weapon. It doesn't perform well, but I suppose the alien disintegrator rifle can pick up the slack, and I'm sure we can get good use out of the alien shock baton, because melee in this game is quite powerful when you pair it up with stealth, so we'll just see how that goes. So yeah, if you'd like to see this weapon in your game, it's going to cost you a little bit on the Creation Club thing, unless you're a pirate, I guess, but I'm not endorsing piracy. Don't do it, kids. It's bad for the economy and shit. Hopefully you can actually see this during the outro. I can, so you should too. Thank you for watching, guys.